How you doing? It's Sandesh here, and I made to do a video on an article on, excuse me, um, spikedonline.com, and it's called Kamala Harris and the Tyranny of Vibes. And, it's like, yeah, no shit. Um, anyway, before I get into the article, it's not just Kamala Harris that I mean that's pretty much a tyrant. I mean you could pretty much say the Democratic Party in general are. Before getting to the article, if you could follow me on X and subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey, TikTok, and I'm on BitChute as well, if you don't mind, please. Um, Here we go. I was thinking the other day on reading in from the article. What do I know about Kamala Harris? Off the top of my head, no googling. I know she was the Attorney General of California. I know she locked up lots of people for marijuana violations. I know she locked up Venn diagrams. I know she didn't fall out of a coconut tree. And I can also tell you another one. She also wants to give healthcare to illegal immigrants. She also wants to do that. She was said that in a CNN interview as well. She wants to do that before doing it before the American people. Um, I know she's brat, although I don't know what that means. I know a ceaseless cackle will haunt me to my grave. I know she's unburdened by what has been, and uh, I know she was the Buddha Khazar. I think that's what that says. Even if she sees herself, seems to have forgotten that fact, and that's it. That is the long and short of my knowledge about the possible future leader of the free world. You could torture me for days, and I wouldn't be able to tell you her positions on the big issues presidential candidates once held forth on. Um, I think she stole an idea from Trump recently. I think about taxing tips or something like that. You see what I mean? Um, her ideas, her policies, let's say, is just going to be about identity politics and gender politics and that sort of crap, race. That's what it's all going to be about. And also carrying on um, um, and also giving weapons to Israel and obviously to Ukraine as well. In Iran, say, or global trade or job creation, I'm open to the possibility that this is partly down to my lack of reading, but there is also more to it than that. The truth is, Harris is a wholly new kind of politician, one who's not meant to be known but felt. Felt. I don't want to feel her. It's less her policies were meant to be wowed by than her vibes. Brace yourselves. America might soon be ruled by a meme-made flesh. Of course, she was a meme before she was a meme. I mean, years ago before she even wanted to take up presidency. And getting back onto Google, I was relieved to find I am not alone in my ignorance of Harris's political beliefs. Even Americans are in the dark. Why Kamala Harris's politics are so hard to pin down, says a headline in the Atlantic. She's a mystery commander in chief, says the Wall Street Journal. She's basically asking Americans to elect her to find out what she really believes. She's such a politics void you can project whatever damn fantasy you like onto her. To the radical left, she's a cop. To the very online right, she's a unhinged Marx who will defund the police and hand the streets over to the Black Lives Matter. Guys, she can't be both. No, actually, I think she was. I think she was part of the that fiasco on who gave even more funding to the police, and also Black Lives Matter also had a hand in it too. Black Lives Matter doesn't help black folks in America. They don't, and let alone black communities. Since replacing Joe Biden on the Democratic ticket, she has studiously avoided sit-down media interviews. She's held no news conferences. I'm not surprised. Her website doesn't even have an issues page, but of course it has a biography page where we learn she's the daughter of parents who brought her to civil rights marches in a stroller. Throughout her life, she's broken barriers. Okay, but what's her position on, I don't know, fracking? She once said, "There's no question I'm in favour of banning fracking," but now she is reportedly taking a more moderate line to avoid pissing off voters in fracking states like Pennsylvania. I guess those good folk will have to wait until she's in the White House to find out if she's going to kill their jobs. Of course, she's going to kill their jobs. There's no doubt about it. She's such an interview showcat. The journalists are having to fantasize about what they'd ask her if she ever designed to talk to them. Questions we love to ask Kamala Harris, says a tragic headline in the Washington Post. If any other candidate for the highest office in America in the West, in fact, were to blank the media like this, there would be an uproar. There'll be accusation of haughtiness, of being contemporaries of democracy. Not Harris. She's playing a clever game, insisting the liberal press, even the Post, for all its feelings of rejection, say we get it. Harris is going to stay as vague on the issues as possible, for as long as possible, to avoid getting fodder to the opposition or dividing her supporters, avoiding democratic accountability. You go, girl. Nah, nah, nah. The more she does that bullshit, yeah, she's gonna end up losing, because when it comes to the debate, Trump's gonna eat her alive. It's gonna be funny. Apparently, us old squares who expect presidential candidates to outline their agenda and talk to journalists are stuck in the past. We just don't understand the key role of vibes in 2024. What the hell does vibes mean? Harris is winning the all-important battle of vibes, said Fareed Zakaria. Hearing Fareed Zakaria say vibes is like hearing your dad say sick. It's just wrong. Yeah, it is. Apparently, Harris's lack of substance isn't a flaw but a virtue, in being deliberately light on substance and high on feelings. And she might just connect with voters who don't tend to vote rationally, but rather use voting to express themselves in emotional ways, said um, Zachariah. I'm sorry, is this therapy or politics? Yeah. The Guardian seems thrilled that this election is being fought on vibes. What the fuck? The Vibes election is kind of a free association game that takes place in the recesses of the deep subconsciousness, it says. Okay, Kamala, we're told it is the queen of vibes. The New York Times gushes over the Kamala Harris vibe shift. Journalists marvel at the brat infi- um, infication of Kamala Harris, following British singer Charlie's declaration that Kamala is brat. Yes, I googled it. See what you have reduced me to. Apparently, brat is a it girl vibe. And Charlie's latest album is called Brat. If you're wondering what all this has to do with the future of America, you're a dinosaur. Forget dusty old nonsense like policies and just feel the vibes. And while the thing is that average voter ain't gonna give a shit about vibes. They're just gonna want to know about policies. There's a twisted irony to this feverish beatification of Kamala as the vibe goddess, the mother of Brat, the Gen Z meme queen. Kill me now, which is that it's the handiwork of the kind of sniffy liberals who laugh at rednecks for falling for the cult of Trump. It's being pushed by online leftists who spend the rest of their time wringing their hands over Trump's um, um, I'll forget that. His sinister ensnaring of supposedly dim voters with their rhetoric and style. These people urgently need to take a look in the mirror, for their creepy worship of Harris is the very definition of a demagoguery. Sorry about the pronunciation. Their excuse making for her ivory tower style of campaigning makes the most wide eyed MAGA people look critically minded in comparison as to their lying down, so that the Kamala vibes might wash over them and provide with them an emotional kick. It's giving North Korea. Well, the thing is, at least MAGA voters, yeah, at least they're willing to listen, and at least they'll tell you exactly why they're voting for Trump. The I mean, all the left, all the left will do is just come up with nonsensical bullshit which makes no sense at all. What are vibes anyway? All I know, being middle aged and literal, is that vibes are short for vibrations. It's a '60s thing originally. It's about pressing pause on all your thinking and worrying and just letting the beat rush through you. That's fine in a club or art venue, but in politics, in a presidential campaign, surely we should expect more from our elected representatives than a fleeting therapeutic thrill. It is a testament to the almost totally hollowing of the out of public life to the fall of a public man, as Richard Sennett described the crisis of modernity nearly 50 years ago, that in an era of economic downturn, social conflict, war, and fear, all we're getting from one of the presidential candidates in the United States of America is vibes and brat and memes and laughing. So much laughing. Yeah, I know. Well, there's not so much laughing, it's more so cackling. I mean, I guarantee you half the shit she says, she doesn't even know what the hell she's talking about. And the new politics of vibes is even more degraded than the politics of personality. That political style of the 1980s and 90s also spoke to a decline in democratic seriousness, where politicians will seek voters less on the basis of what they believed than on the spin doctored polls as intimate, authentic good guys. But at least they try to connect with us. At least they try to talk to us. Aloof, inscrutable brat Kamala is something far worse. A politician without substance or personality, bereft of both vision and character, all she has to offer is strange vibrations. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I really hope America's not stupid and they end up voting for her. Trump needs to win again, as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe on this video. And if you could follow me on X and subscribe on YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey, TikTok, and BitChute as well, if you don't mind, please. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.